Hello everyone, Amanda here. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you've had a lovely creative week and you've been able to make something pretty. So today I'm sharing some of the process of decorating my Georgian Romance journal. She's beautiful, she's finished. Okay, now my journals are not overly embellished normally, and this one is still quite simple. Now, when I'm decorating a journal, this process is what I enjoy, and I can spend hours and hours and hours doing it. So for me to bring that to you on YouTube, you would be bored. So what I've done is I've filmed myself over a couple of days and a couple of sessions of decorating this journal, and I've pieced them together and I've edited it. And I don't do a lot of editing, but I've edited it so that it's a better viewing for you, and I've sped it up, and I will do a talk over. I'll explain what I'm doing, and as always tell you why I do what I do and where I'm placing things, so that hopefully you can get some ideas and inspiration. Bear in mind, a lot of journal decorating processes are quite basic. You know, there's only so many brand new ideas that are out there, so it's all about just enjoying your creative process. I enjoyed mine. It took me, as I said, did it over a couple of days. So I'm going to share my process with you. Okay, she is done, she is beautiful. Towards the end I'll do a full flip through, but again I'm going to speed it up and do a quick talk over, so that you're not sat listening to me waffle forever and a day. So I hope you'll join me. I hope you'll watch it to the end. I've tried my best to condense all of the things that I do into a quick video. Off we go. So the first thing I'll do is I'll have a good flip through and identify where there's lots of blank space in the same area. And stenciling is a fantastic, quick and easy way to add decoration to a page without adding bulk. This journal's already bulky. I don't want to be adding bulky embellishments. So stenciling is perfect, and I will use the same stencil throughout the book so that it matches. You don't need loads of things in your stash, one or two pretty stencils and stamps. Word stamps, and you can see me stamping them off onto scrap there. That's so that the ink is a little bit more faded, because I don't have loads of colours of ink, so I'll stamp off to make it a lighter colour. Then I'm going to get my fussy cuts. Now I print these on lightweight cardstock. I just like the sturdiness of them, and I'm never sure whether I'm going to make embellishments with them or dangles with them, so by doing them on cardstock it just makes it more versatile, and to me I find it easier to cut them if they're on cardstock. Now here you'll see me chopping and changing my mind, and it's one reason why I don't really film a lot of my page decorating process, because I don't always know what I'm going to do. I let the images and things, you know, lead me rather than trying to make my life hard. So here I've grabbed some pre-made embellishments from my basket of mass makes, and I've made it fit my theme by removing a floral image, adding some background paper from my collection. So now that fits the theme of my journal. So rather than it sat there collecting dust in my basket of pre-made things, I've used it, and I do try and use things that I have made in mass makes and make them fit. Sometimes they just need a little tweaking, and so here I'm deciding what I'm going to add, my embellishments. I chop and change my mind a lot, but there's nothing wrong with that. You know, just keep placing things down, have a look, go away, make a cup of tea, come back to it, have a look, see what you think. Okay, there's no rush. You don't have to rush. The processes that I've done on this video are filmed over 2 or 3 days. You know, there's no rush. You can take your time and go away and come back to things and see what you think. Sometimes you need fresh eyes on projects to carry on being inspired. And so I've turned this into a pocket, and I'm going to grab some more things from my pre-made stash and make it fit. Here I'm just adding calligraphy ink, white calligraphy ink splatters to add a little bit more interest to that page. So here we go. I've dragged these out of my pre-made box, things that I've made that I've not used, and you know, part of my mantra for 2025 is to use what I've got. So I'm going to be using up things that I've already made for other videos or for other journals and then not got round to using. And so these are some little pockets. I think I did a digital collection in my shop, and you get all of the pockets and all of the little bits of ephemera, little mini ephemera. It's little interesting things that whoever ends up with the journal can have a look at and lift out of the pockets and go, oh, that's cute. So you can see here as well, this page is shorter than the other page, and I've done that on purpose because it just adds interest when you're flipping through if you've got pages that are different sizes. Okay, it really does look brilliant. So here I'm just adding some lace, and my tip for adding lace is to add the glue to the page, lay your lace over the top, tap it down with your fingers and just leave it to dry. It will adhere quite easily. I don't like using hot glue on my journals. I really don't, because I find that once it dries out, it goes hard, it feels bulky, and quite often things will lift off. Whereas if you use a good wet glue, and I use Collall, they're not coming off, they're not going anywhere. So here I'm just having a look. I've got an idea in my head, so I'm going through my, what I call doodads, my bits and bobs that I've had for years and years. You know, and every time I do a journal, I'll have a look through my collection of things and I'll be mindful. And, you know, another word for 2025 that one of my crafty friends used the other day, intentional. Be intentional to use up things that you've got already, okay, before you go and buy any more. And if you're using them, then you can go buy more without feeling guilty. Sometimes I don't glue things, sometimes I just clip them to the page. I think it's really interesting for whoever ends up with the journal to be able to take things out and move them around if they want to. And these little tag pockets are great. We've got little mini ephemera in. So here I'm just seeing if I can use up some more of the tassels. I decide not to. And then now I'm moving on to my fussy cuts. I always cut loads out, because I just never know how many I'm going to use, and any that I don't use I'll most certainly use somewhere else. So these are mirror image fussy cuts, and you can use them as paper clips. Here I'm actually gluing them down as page tabs. So I decided to find some more that are mirror image. Those aren't, Amanda, they're not mirror image. These are. And you can just glue down half of it and have it as a paper clip. Or like I've done, you can slip it onto your page, then add more glue, and it's like it's a cool tab. Instead of just using the whale tail tab or, you know, punching out paper tabs, use the embellishments as page tabs. It really adds a lot of interest to your page. So here I'm deciding to use up some more of these scraps, and I do try and use as much as I can that's on my desk. And I think originally I was going to make this into a pocket, and then I glued it on the wrong way around and I couldn't access it, and I was like, no, what have I done? So instead it just becomes you know, make it part of the dance, and I've just turned it into a large embellishment. And there you can see me using that piece of scrap that I've stamped onto, and I'm using it as a layer. So nothing needs to get wasted. That's where I figured out that I've glued the pocket down. So now we're making it into an embellishment instead. So I'm using the fussy cuts again, and I'm just layering them one on top of the other. This is why I give lots of embellishments in my collections, lots of fussy cuts, because this is how you can decorate your pages really easily without having to go through, you know, vintage books or collecting images. I do all the hard work for you. All you've got to do is cut them out. I give you plenty. Then I'm going through, you can see me there, I'm using up some old sentiments and ripped out words that I've collected. And I'm thinking, let me be intentional here and use some of those up. So here I'm trying to decide where to put that paper clip that I've made. And again, I'm using some of that scrap paper that I've stamped on, and I'm going to make a paper embellishment, just ripped up bits of paper, and I'm going to find a word. These are all, some of them are ripped from other collections, some are things that I've stamped all sorts of things, but I keep them in a little tub. And, you know, we do that, and we collect things and we keep them and then we don't use them. So make it your intention this year to add something to your journals from your collection. Be mindful to go through your tubs of things that you've got already, your words and your stamped images and your this and your that, and see what you can add to your journals on top of what's already planned for your journal from the collection that you're using. So here's just a little word from the collection I've decided to just slip in there, and I've made myself a cute little cluster to just decorate that page, and that tab hangs off so it's like a turning tab. And I just think it's really nice. I think I do use a lot of these embellishments as like page tabs, because I just think they're fantastic. I love how they hang off the page. Because I've done them in cardstock, they're nice and firm. There we go. Now this lace here I'm having to glue back down. I used hot glue, and that's what I mean about hot glue. It will come undone. So, you know, I will be checking all of this journal when it's done to make sure that everything's glued down properly and that nothing's loose, and that is why I don't use hot glue. So here another bit of letter that I've got lying around on my desk, and I'm adding it in, and it just gives a little bit of something, and it looks really, really pretty. So I decided to keep on doing it, and I'm just slipping these little bits of words that are ripped up from letters at the bottom of the pages, and it's just all just little added interest. I'm trying to see where to add this paper clip. I've cut it out. I'm not wasting it. And I glue it down nicely. Now I did actually glue 2 pages together there, which I found when I did my final check at the end. And so I had to prise that off and redo it. But, you know, so always check your work. And then here I've done one of the tabs, but I'm doing it from the top of the page instead of at the side. And I just think that's really nice. And that adds a lovely decoration to that page. And I just keep flicking through and seeing where there's spaces and seeing if I want to add more things. So this is a quick flip through of the journal. She is done. I am happy with her. I think she's really rather lovely. And we'll have a little chat right at the very end of the video. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. I really, really enjoyed making this. I'm adding some of the fussy cuts to that paper. It's like a doily. I turned it into a pocket. And then what I also do is at the end, I grab all of my leftover fussy cuts, and I've grabbed an envelope, and I'm just going to put them in there, and then whoever gets the journal can use them to decorate the journal further. So I'm just going to add a paper clip to keep all of those closed, and then I am just going to just decorate that envelope really quickly. See how simple that is? And we've gone from a plain envelope to a decorated envelope, and I will just slip that in the belly band at the back, and we are done. So she's finished. That is my journal done. So the final thing that I do when I've done a journal is I will go through every single page, meticulously checking that everything's glued down really well, that nothing's like flipping and flapping all over. I do add paper clips to things because I don't want them falling out of pockets. There's nothing more annoying. And, you know, I'll inevitably maybe see a space where I think I could add something else. But in general, I'm just checking, attention to detail. I'm just checking that it's all glued down nicely, that I haven't glued 2 pages together, that kind of thing. And then, you know, that I've not got any glue strands because I've used hot glue, and that I'm happy in general with how it flows. And I'm really happy with this journal. I think she's really lovely. I will be... so yeah, she's done now, so I'll need to put this to one side, and I need to crack on with the next one. So the next one will be the peacock journal. I will be doing trying my hardest to come up with some really fun ideas and doing tutorials rather than a sped up edited one. So please make sure you are subscribed. I really do appreciate it. It means the world to me. And yeah, so she's finished. I may be putting her up for sale. Haven't decided yet. If I do, you know, it'll go up in my shop. So the best thing to do is make sure that you're a follower over on my Ko-fi. The link's below the video. You don't have to buy anything. You can just click follow like you do on anything else, and then when I upload things or I sell things, you'll get a notification and you'll be able to see when things go for sale, because I may well be selling quite a few of my journals this year to make room. I need to make room. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's given you some ideas. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.